Have you ever wondered what this is? Or what this is made of? Or how the heck to play that? Brass instruments play a big part in ensembles such as symphonies, jazz bands/small bands, and even progressive rock bands. The thing that divides brass instruments from any other family of instruments is the mouthpiece. Mouthpieces are unique because they tell you if an instrument is a brass instrument or not. Mouthpieces are metal tubes which have a circular opening, and when you plug the mouthpiece into, say, a trumpet, and you buzz your lips, it makes a sound. And when it's out of the lead pipe and you play by itself, it makes a funny noise. Mouthpieces come in different shapes and sizes and are most of the time made of nickel silver. The instruments themselves also come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes. Trumpets and cornets are high-pitched, French horns are middle-pitched, and trombones, baritones, and tubas are all low-pitched. So now that we have covered what mouthpieces are made of, what exactly are these guys made of? Well, I don't know, stainless steel, copper, silver, and a lot of brass. The biggest question is, why brass? What is significant about brass? Well, first of all, it's malleable, and it has great acoustic properties, and it being malleable means that it is a soft metal, which means that it has a warmer and darker sound, which is that standard brass kind of sound, compared to harder metals. It has a good resistance to corrosion and friction, because it has a lot of zinc in it. It is flexible, not like gymnastics flexible, but like it's very compatible with other metals. It has a low melting point, which means it's fusible, and it can combine with other metals very easily. It is just the top quality choice for making these instruments. Since each part of the instruments are made of different kinds of metal, I will be using the baritone as an example to show off all of the metals that are used in making these instruments. The first metal is yellow brass. Yes, there are multiple kinds of brass used in these instruments. The difference between them is the amount of copper/zinc that is in them. It is used in the pipes and tubing and is coiled/wrapped around to make it easier to hold. It is the most versatile for molding and shaping because it contains the most zinc. The next metal used in brass instruments is red brass, given the name because of its copper content and the reddish tint. It is used in the bell of the instrument, which is the large flare at the top where the sound comes out, and it is a soft metal, which gives it the warm and mellow sound. Next up is stainless steel, which is used in the valves of the instrument, which are the buttons that you push down, which changes the pitch of the instrument. It is dissimilar to brass, which means that it's kind of similar to brass, but it's slightly different in some properties. It's austenitic, which means it doesn't magnetize to brass, so it works with brass very well. And it's nearly resistant to corrosion and friction, just like brass. Next up is copper, which is used as the first coating of the instrument in a process known as electroplating, which is where you put a piece of copper in a cyanide substance, and then you put the brass instrument in the cyanide substance, turn the electric power on, and all of the anodes from the negatively charged copper attach to the surface of the brass, which is pretty cool. The last metal used in creating brass instruments is nickel silver, which is the same metal that is used in the mouthpieces. It is the second coating after copper because it bonds better to copper than brass because they have very similar properties, as in they're both in group 11 on the periodic table. And it is resistant to corrosion, so it bonds with copper and brass very well.